It's great to see the GPU market finally starting to recover from the horrible dark era of component shortages and insane pricing, but I fear that a lot of the damage that was done from this period is perhaps permanent and could carry on forward to the next generation. Let's discuss that in this video. Hey, if you enjoy content like this, drop a like, make sure to subscribe, and smash that bell so you never miss another video. Hey, what is going on guys? Danny here, welcome back to the channel and I hope you've all been doing well. Before we get into the topic for this video, I just want to let you all know I did finally post that build video featuring the Thermaltake View 51 Snow Edition. It took a bit of time, especially because I had a change of plans since I originally ordered the black version, then got the white version, so then I was like, okay, I guess I'm gonna have to go with some different components, and then that led me to getting their recently released TH360 AIO, so it's why I hadn't been posting as many videos as I would do usually, but the build turned out to be very good. I really like the way it looks, so I definitely recommend checking it out. Link for that video will be in the description. Alright, so as for the topic for this video, I wanted to talk about the recent shortages and price hikes which occurred in the GPU market that may leave an everlasting imprint that can severely impact how the next generation of video cards will be received by PC gamers and hardware enthusiasts. Earlier this month, we talked about how GPU availability was finally starting to improve and that prices were also starting to drop. We saw many articles stating how in many parts of the world, such as China and Germany, had seen a drop in GPU prices over the last couple of months, where once GPUs were being sold at nearly 200% plus the MSRP, were now selling at only 30 or 40% above MSRP. We also saw how places like Micro Center in the US had been seen having stocked shelves, which was a very relieving sight to see. I'm sure we can all agree on that. And it does look like the situation is indeed improving. Here in Canada, Canada Computers, who are our biggest PC parts retailer, unfortunately, did also receive a large shipment of GPUs. There was a post made over at the BA PC Sales Canada subreddit a couple days ago stating that multiple stores had various RTX 30 series models in stock in stores. As noted in that video, while it's very assuring to see that retailers are carrying stock for GPUs and that they're readily available for the most part, the problem is that the prices for these graphics cards are still much higher than where they should be. You're still going to get ripped off pretty badly, and it's why I highly recommend just waiting until the demand for these GPUs drops further and stock is more abundant. Just take a look at these insane prices, and this isn't even a scalper we're talking about. This is a very well-known, highly regarded retailer, Micro Center, where the RTX 3070 Ti's are going for nearly $1,000, 3080 Ti's are going for $1,500, and 3090s are going for around $2,000 plus. Those prices are still absolutely atrocious and way above MSRP. I also noticed that RTX 3080s are actually still nowhere to be really seen, and this isn't just the case with Micro Center, but places like Newegg, Amazon, Canada Computers, and all the other retailers seem to be having this problem. It leads me to believe that either because the 3080 is still one of the most sought after GPUs because it offers much better performance per dollar over the 3070 Ti and 3080 Ti, that they're still getting sold out instantly and demand really hasn't dropped too much for those SKUs. Or perhaps manufacturers are just focusing on producing more 3080 Ti's and 3070 Ti's since it's better margin for them. I don't know for sure, but out of all the 3000 series GPUs that have been announced so far, the 3080 and 3060 Ti in my opinion offer the best bang for the buck, so it could be that there's still just a lot of demand surrounding those GPUs and they're getting sold out instantly, or like I said, it could be the former. The situation surrounding AMD's Radeon RX 6000 series is actually worse, where 6700 XTs are going for around $1,000, which makes absolutely no sense to buy because if you're going to choose between an overpriced 3070 Ti or 6700 XT, you might as well go for the former, which will offer better performance, more gaming focused features like better ray tracing performance, DLSS, which is supported in more games currently than FSR, etc. We also see RX 6900 XTs, which have price tags of around $2,000, which is double the MSRP, and nobody really should be buying at those prices. I just wanted to reiterate this fact again because GPUs, while are still in stock, prices just still haven't come back down to earth, and no sensible PC gamer would be paying this much, right? Well, here's the thing, despite demand slowing down, people still want to buy GPUs. Retailers still see that there is still a significant demand for these components. It's not as insane as it was in the past few months, but people still want a new GPU, whether it's for a new build or upgrade. You also have to remember that amongst the PC gamer crowd, there were a lot of folks who said, screw it, I'll just bide my time with what I have right now and just wait until prices start to fall and the whole crypto mining bubble bursts. Now that prices are falling, people are tempted on purchasing these graphics cards, so there's a need for this particular component from this crowd. Therefore, retailers see these market conditions and want to take advantage of the situation. I mean, they would be stupid not to. If I was running a PC parts store and someone was happily willing to pay overpay for a 3080 Ti, I would gladly sell it to them. I know most people would still love to see lower prices for these parts, myself included, but until people don't stop paying for these high prices, then they won't go lower than that. Retailers will be very reluctant on doing that. What I'm not a fan of though is retailers locking these GPUs behind paywalls for their custom pre-builds or their building services, or bundling them with these overpriced bundles, because that totally screws over the individual just looking to buy a single component. Now, with consumers willing to pay so much for these GPUs, this is actually going to leave quite the negative impact on the PC hardware market and will essentially dictate how much more expensive the next generation of parts will be. When the manufacturers themselves notice that this many consumers are okay with paying 20 or 40% above MSRP, it will incentivize them to take advantage of the situation. In fact, this is already happening right now with recent releases from both AMD and Nvidia. We all know for a fact that the 3080 Ti should not have been $1199, as that is $200 more expensive than what had been rumored to be the price tag of $999. Even at that price, I still would say get the 3080 instead, but at $1,200, that was just ridiculous. The majority of the tech press slammed Nvidia for this as well. However, they're not the ones who dictate prices for these parts at the end of the day. It's the consumers. So when you have people still lining up to buy it at $1,200 or $1,500 plus, it pretty much gives Nvidia the green light to raise MSRP higher than where it really should have been. The same can be said for AMD's RX 6700 XT. This card really should have been $399 or $429 at most, but the fact that they decided to charge almost the same price as the 3070, which is faster, it's blatantly obvious they're just taking advantage of consumers who are willing to pay these obnoxiously high prices. Then the damage has already been done. I would not be surprised to see AMD release the upcoming RX 6600 XT for $399 or $379. And this is what the state of the market is, unfortunately. The fact that manufacturers could be willing to charge almost $400 for entry-level GPUs, it sounds ridiculous, but at the end of the day, they're getting sold out. It was not too long ago that this segment was targeting the $200 market, though now I can see a market where there is no such thing as a GPU for less than $250 or $300. This would entail even higher prices for the next-gen GPUs. Imagine if Nvidia releases the 4000 series, and starting from the top we have the 4090, which goes for $1999, the 4080 Ti, which would have an MSRP of $1499, the 4080, which would go for something like $1099, 4070 for $799, and 4060 for $599. A lineup like this might seem quite ridiculous and absurd to you, but I really wouldn't be surprised to see something like this happening for the next generation of cards. Tech reviewers can rave all about how expensive GPUs have become, but at the end of the day, if people are still willing to pay for them, then it's going to happen. It's basically like what has happened with the smartphone market. I know people who really aren't all that tech savvy, that don't do a lot with their devices aside from texting and social media, streaming YouTube, music, etc., just basic needs, but are still willing to pay like $1,200 plus for a flagship caliber phone every couple of years and are totally fine with it. And I think that the GPU market is trending in this direction, sadly. At the end of the day, it'll be up to you, the consumer, to vote with your wallet. I hope you guys found this video to be informative and helpful. Let me know your thoughts down below. Check out the video description on ways to support the channel and for my other videos. If you guys are interested in more content like this, then make sure you subscribe. Thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you guys in the next one.